Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your July forecast. So before I start out the forecast, I would like to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart. Okay, so for about 4 weeks, I have been seeing things. They're foggy figures. They don't have an actual physical form of like a human. They're humanoid looking, their form is, but it's very strange. I thought I was just honestly seeing dead people, and not like in the movie Sixth Sense where it's like, I see dead people. No, I didn't have a spooky feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling associated with them. They were just foggy, gray. They look like a foggy, like if you were to turn on your TV and you were just to see things, you know, like back in the old days when you had that ant race type stuff, but it was like that, but it was all dark and foggy. And I would see them and they would be observing me. And I would look again and they would be gone, but then I would feel them still observing me. The weirdest thing. And I didn't just see one or two. I saw it a lot. I saw it when I was driving. I saw it when I was at home. I saw it, you know, when I was walking around, but they seemed to be around me. Strange, right? I thought, okay, I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as Kelly calls it. And I'm like, okay, so that's weird. And then I started having dreams again. And I've had these dreams on and off my whole life. They're like dreams of people in situations they're in and things that I need to go help heal or get them out of or help talk them through or something like that. I started having dreams like that. And then one particular dream, which I've never in my life encountered, and it was a dream where that foggy appearance, but it was bigger than the other. So I knew it had to be, like, I pictured it as God sitting me down and saying, okay, if you do these list of things, you will have a benefic life. Now, mind you, I've been doing a lot of research on the energy of this month. A lot about Venus, a lot about Mars, a lot about debilitated energies, a lot about, you know, really manipulating energy. Nothing about this kind of stuff, but just, you know, just about energy. And this was just something that said clearly, hey, do this, your life is better. Then 2 days later, I get in this little fender bender, no big deal. But it highlighted some of the areas in my life about my finances where, you know, the spotlight for this conversation was taking place. And I thought, okay, that's spooky. And then I have been having a lot of anxiety. Energy's been really overcoming me. And I'm really good at manipulating energy at this point. I mean, I'm really good at knowing I'm going to have a Mars-based day and just, you know, seeing Mars for what it is and laughing at Mars. But there were times in my day where I was just like drained. I'm tired more than I ever have been. I seem to want to feed my pleasure centers more with food that I normally wouldn't eat. And so I was just like, I was feeling off, I guess, is the point for all of that energy, just completely off. And I really honestly could not figure any of this stuff out. I know that, okay, Leos, because I have well, my sun is in Leo at like 1 point something degrees, and I'm actually born as a cusp. So I'm primarily identify with being a Cancer, but I'm definitely got 5 influences of Leo in me. So I thought, well, I'm doing all this 12th house work right now because right now all Leos are doing 12th house work. And it makes you more tired, and it makes you, you know, have an energy depletion, which is normal for 12th house work. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going through 12th house work. Couldn't explain the shadowy beings. That's a new one. Couldn't explain the thing that sat me down and said, do this. I couldn't explain any of that, but I could definitely explain some of it. So when I get ready, I I really try to connect with energy. I really want to feel my readings to the best that I can. I do these at such a mass quantity, I don't think I really get to feel them to the degree I wish I could. If it was my primary job, I would probably do one of these a day and really meditate before them. But so I put on all of the primary energies. I put on videos about them. I listen to other people talk about them, and I really, really get myself connected with Mars energy. I find the more videos I watch on, like, let's say Mars and Cancer, the more that I start to feel Mars and Cancer, and then I can talk about it. I don't prep. I just write down, like on here is just, it's just the positions of the planets. There's no, I don't write words on it or anything. I do this all completely ad lib. Like, there's no forethought to this. But they were these energies were speaking to me, and so I had composed some cards of, like, things that would come up that I would just feel I needed to tell you, and so I would write them down. One of the things that really tripped me out is I came across one of these astrologers that I love. He's a Vedic astrologer, and I adore him. And even though I'm a Western astrologer, I really like Vedic astrology, and it makes sense out of some of the things that I think Western astrology doesn't touch on. And so I kind of combine sometimes Vedic astrology and Western astrology and create my own astrology. And he had talked about having symptoms kind of like mine. Now, his are completely different. Like, some of his symptoms are completely different from mine, but some of them are like mine. And so it tripped me out. It truly freaked me out, because I was like, there are other people who feel the same way. Like, I had talked to only a couple people about it, and nobody had my same experiences. So I thought I was just going through a nutso period, like an Annette nutso period. But he had talked about this in a video. He got 14,000 hits in an hour of people going through this. I now feel like I have to tell you. Okay, first of all, I was on a video about Mars in Cancer. The very next video was this ascension video. To me, I always take these as signs, or songs, or people. If I have a conversation about to a person and they talk about something that resonates with energy I'm currently experiencing, I take these as messengers. And so to me, he was my messenger. And my messenger is, I need to talk to you guys about this, because maybe you don't follow him. Maybe you don't, you don't go out there and research. I can tell you this, I don't have time to research out the metaphysical realm all that much, because I'm so busy in a constant state of learning. I'm a teacher as well, so I'm learning all of that. And I work 2 jobs, so I really honestly don't have a bunch of time to sit and watch stuff that doesn't pertain to my day-to-day life. This resonated so deeply with me, I must tell you, that he was my messenger to tell you guys. So if you guys are experiencing feelings of anxiety for no reason, you are seeing things. He says he sees a light. I never saw anything like that. I don't have portals in my house. At least I don't think so. But I am something is trying to communicate with me. That is for certain at this point. What it is, I believe it's God and my angels. That's my personal religious background. And so I wish I had more time to develop my spirituality, but I don't, because I work 2 jobs with this astrology. But I do know one thing. One message that came very clear through all of this today is that we're a fluid concept. We don't know what we're going to be. Light workers are going to be they're being awakened to their purpose. They're being shown whether or not they need to be a tarot reader, or they need to be a healer, or whether they need to be an astrologer, or, but we're being awakened. And through that, we're getting these symptoms of the spiritual world connecting with with our material world, with the human experience. And I think right now, our body is really a beacon for energy. It's really, really, really responding to energy. and through overloads of energy. And so I think when we get overloads of energy, the way that our body responds to them is panic attacks, anxiety, an uneasiness, needing to sleep more, to be unconscious more, needing more meditation time. It needs this time to really deeply have a time out. If you just go full steam ahead and if your body is saying that you're tired, please sleep. Please let these energies speak to you in the way that they speak to you. It seems like people are going through different experiences than me. I'm not saying I'm a guru in this. I think that you need to research it out and let those people guide you who are really good at this, because for me, all it is doing is freaking me out and awakening me to something that I can't quite rationally explain yet. I haven't done research. I don't understand it. And until I do, I usually don't like to talk about it. But with this many people being awakened, I want you to know that you're not alone. And that if you feel like you're talking to people and they don't have your experiences, I really, really want you to know that there are forums, there are places for you to go, there are metaphysical realms that are experiencing this, and that you will have a community of support if you do go through this. That's my message on my little preaching soapbox over here. Okay, so let's talk about the month, because wow, what a month. All right, first of all, happy birthday, Leos. I am one of those birthdays. In fact, my birthday is July 24th, and my son and my daughter's birthday is July 26th. So, to my son and my daughter, I want to wish you a very happy birthday, and I am so blessed and so happy that you are in my life, and you make my life worth living, and I couldn't be without you. And those are special messages to my sweet ones. And to all you July birthdays, happy birthday. This month is, okay, so until your birthday, you're going to be working on your 12th house work. The 12th house realm is why you might feel tired until your birthday, where you might just feel more withdrawn, where you might feel more like, I don't know, kind of out of sorts. Like normally you're a Leo, larger than life, ready to shine, but I don't know, maybe you feel like staying in more. Maybe you feel like connecting with people more one-on-one. Maybe you need more time, cuddled up next to somebody and building a relationship on an interpersonal level, like on that level of like really, really an intimate level. You may be needing that right now, and that's okay. This is normal 12th house stuff, guys. This happens every time around this year. No biggie. What it does is it allows us to sit down, and this is what I would encourage. I actually do this. Even before I understood the metaphysical realm in astrology, I just felt like I always needed a time out right before my birthday to look at my year and think about where my year is. How did it go last year to this year? Like birthday to birthday, how has my life changed? What was unpleasant? What would I never do again? And what would I, where do I want to go? Like I always do this, and I write a little list out every year. I don't know why I do it. Well, part of it's Virgo, but and I just really I make intentions for the next following year. And I did this before astrology. I noticed it. I'm very observant. So I noticed that I needed to do this. So guys, if you're experiencing that, make your list, sit down, go into the metaphysical realm, research things, talk to people about your year. There's a lot of energy right now wanting us to look backward. Venus is going to retrograde this month, and it's going to retrograde in Leo toward the end of the month. And so you're going to be fine-tuning your relationships and how you see relationships and what kind of relationships you see in your future. And I think so right before Venus goes into retrograde, I think it would behoove you guys to sit down and make a list of like, okay, this is what I see as my ideal partner. This is what I want in my life. These are the pleasurable experiences I hope to have next year. I really like this creative endeavor. I would really like to expand on this creative endeavor. I really want you to make an intention list. I really think that you need to be selfish right now and make this time period about you. So Jupiter and Venus energy are going to be trining Uranus in Aries. And so this is a lot of getting down to what you want in love, romance, in how you want to expand your life, how you see your future, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes are all being looked at, and you've got it training Uranus. Uranus is the out-of-the-box ideas. It's thinking on a futuristic level. It's coming up with a new path for your life. It's that kind of thinking, and it's just beautiful this month. So if you really dive into energy, you could really manifest something from all of these energies being so benefic in Leo. And I really, really like that for you. So let's start out by talking about July 1st. Now, July 1st, there's a full moon in Capricorn. Wah, wah. To me, I get along and have fun with Capricorns, but when they start getting too task-oriented and they start getting too, I don't know, sometimes Capricorn energy to me can be a downer because I really don't want to think as realistic as they think about everything. I mean, if I want to have somebody run my business, Capricorn 100%. I wouldn't have anybody else. They are freaking fantastic. But if I want to go have a good time with them, they have to be in a really good mood, or they're not in a good mood. And so it's really hard to predict them because I think sometimes they are like tea kettles that, are like teapots that are like always brewing and going to blow at some time. So this could be that day. One thing I like about this, there's one good energy I like about this moon is afflicted, by the way, is that this is going to be in an area of your life where you're going to be exploring your work routines, your home routines, your physical well-being routines, your mental well-being routines. And so it's going to be exploring anything that you do that can generate positive things in your life. So, maybe you've gotten in a really bad habit with Jupiter being in Leo to be expanding your waistline and expanding your taste buds. And so you really need to hone that down and reel that back in. And you know what? This Capricorn energy in this moon is going to make you realistic. It's going to make you think, you know what? If I keep eating that bacon, my cholesterol is going to go through the roof. I know my waistline, maybe you don't care about your waistline, but maybe you care about your cholesterol, your physical well-being. And so you're going to be looking at that on this full moon. Now, Jupiter is in Leo and Venus is in Leo, and they're both going to be trining Uranus. And this is going to be in the area of your chart that has to do with your career, life path, destiny. And so what routines can you develop that will take you to that next level in life? Okay, say you want to be a model and you're gorgeous, but you know what? You don't have the discipline enough to maintain your body to the level that it needs to be a model. You can develop a routine that gets you to the point where what's required of a model is exactly what you portray. Let's say that you want to be an actor or an actress, but you don't have the discipline to save enough money to go out there and live without money for a year while you're off, going and trying out for everything. It's going to create routines that says, okay, let's make a budget. Let's stick to this budget. I need XYZ money for a year to live in Hollywood so that I could be an actor. Like, you're going to develop things like that. Say you want a creative endeavor to be your life purpose. Guess what, guys? You have the ability to analyze this, show a spotlight in the area where where you have tendencies to not be successful. Meaning, are you the type of person that starts a painting but doesn't finish it? You lose your inspiration. You're on to the next one. and you don't have the discipline. This is where this energy can be combined and be very, very, very benefic. Yes, it does point out weaknesses. So what's happening on a full moon is wherever you're shadowy, right? Wherever the darkest shadows are at night, with who you are in your seedy type life, right? The darkest parts of you, the full moon comes in and takes a flashlight and shows you that corner, right? And says, you know, this is what you really are. This is why a lot of endings happen at the time of the full moon, because it shows a spotlight in the shadow side of your life, in the dark parts of your realm. And it really puts a spotlight there, and it says, hey, that person's treating you that way, or that person's hiding that secret from you, or that person is, not on board with you, or whatever. And so it really highlights that, and then you make a decision at that time, and it's usually emotion-based because it's the moon. So during this time, you might have something come up that might make you, okay, I just want to not be in that particular job anymore. Or it makes you say, okay, I'm going to stay for a year, and then I'm getting out of that job. Kind of might be that kind of energy. Then on the 8th, we have a beautiful day. It's a lovely trining day. I love this day because the moon is being trined, as well as Neptune and Pisces is being trined. For you, this is going to hit in the areas of how you see yourself, how you identify yourself, what your authentic purpose is, what you have to give the world, us. It's going to make you take a look at that, and it's going to say, what do you emotionally want? Because you deserve to shine. We need to see you, Leo. You're put on this earth to shine. I mean, for God's sakes, your ruler is the sun. You're supposed to shine. Every ounce of you likes to shine. So shine. What's going to get you there? You need to really dive deep, and you need to think, okay, base it on reality, but base it on a very big hope. Base it on, maybe not your actual physical reality now, but it's actually a reality that you could actually have. You need to start looking at that, because there's so much, the sun, Mars, Neptune, oh goodness, Mercury, and Leo energy are all wanting you to see the big picture. There's a purpose for you. This is motivating energy. This is about talking to the right people at the right time. This is about diving deep, sitting with yourself in that dark 12th house world of yours, pulling in, meditating, having a dream, having a very vivid dream about your reality and how it's not matching what you should be. It's about manifesting fantasy and making it reality. It's a really beautiful day. Then on the 13th, we have a day where I like to call it yin and yang. It's balancing energy. I personally, I am an extreme person, so you never like what you are. So I really like energy that is not really high and not really low. So this energy has extremes, right? Highs and lows, really high, really lows. But you want to get the energy here in the middle, right? So on this day, you're going to be wanting to put yourself out there, wanting to be larger than life, wanting to be who you're destined to be. But you're doing this all in your 12th house. You're cleaning out your closet in your 12th house. You're looking at, how do I get this, all this to be out there? That's what you're trying to figure out. And guys, there's guiding energy all more than willing to get you out there. I'm telling you, there's not only guiding energy, it's spooky how much, if you really want a guide, you can have it. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for, because then you're going to be walking around seeing dead people. or whatever they are. But it's that kind of a day. And the reason why I say this is because we're going to have beautiful sextiles in the moon. So this is what you emotionally wanting, and specifically for you, it's going to be, how do you light your fire? How do you light your passion? How do you create? What kind of creative endeavors will make you shine authentically, right? And you'll have the emotional intensity to want to go after that. And then you have the same energy trining Uranus, saying Uranus wants to ignite it, wants to do it, it wants to go forth, it wants to be, Uranus energy is truly just, it really wants you to think outside of the box. It wants you to think larger than life. It wants you to not have a concept, base anything on what's in this world. You know what? It's where inventions come from. Out of the box ideas, completely never been invented before, but they make $1 billion. That's the kind of energy that's on the 13th. But you have heavy duty Scorpio and Saturn energy, keeping you realistic and grounded and saying, okay, I know, okay, how do you get all this dark stuff that you have in your closet out of here to make room for all, maybe that's the room that you got to go put your art studio in. But before that, you got to drag all this stuff out of your closet. I'm telling you guys, turn inward this month before your birthday. Before your birthday, do this inward work. There's a message, there's a sign, there's something that this universe is trying to tell you. And if you're out there living larger than life, you're going to miss this message. And it's a big one. Let me tell you, I just went through my 12th house work in Cancer. And I saw dead people. That's all I got to say. It's big stuff. Really big stuff. So then on the 15th, we have the new moon in Cancer. That, again, showing, okay, this is now going to be more about your intuitive responses to what's in your 12th house. This is going to be igniting the areas of your mind that you normally don't utilize. And this is going to be about highly intuitive instincts about what seeds you want to plant for the future. Now, is this tough work? This is tough. This is a tough aspect. I'm not going to lie. This is a wicked new moon. Wicked. I'm going to call it wicked for us little sweet Leos who like to live large. But you have the sun and the moon, both in Cancer, on the new moon in Cancer, opposing Uranus. Okay? So your emotional, whatever comes up through this 12th house work, it's going to have to do with how you see yourself. We've been working through these identity crises that I talked about in the month of June, even though I was super sick during that video. I did try to I did a crappy job on those videos. Anyhow, but your emotional well-being, your emotional drive to make it past this identity crisis, I think is going to be the hardest thing. Look, you need to clean out your 12th house. You just do. Because the art studio or the photography or where you put your dark room for your photography, or where you put your YouTube channel room, where you do all of where you videotape all your YouTube channels need to go in there, and you need to create a perfect little backdrop and everything. But you've got to go through this 12th house work to do it. There's something, dear Leo, that you're missing that's holding you back still. Something that the universe is trying to show you. And if you don't go into the 12th house, you can't be guided to the next level in your life through the next following birth year. Okay. On the 22nd, there's going to be a cardinal cross. So I think for you, You may respond to this energy as like, wow, why isn't everybody really fun and exciting? I'm really looking for a good time. And you know what? They're just in their own little world, and you're not going to understand totally what they're going through. I really want you to know that if you have cardinal signs, which is Libra, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancers, if they come to you and they're going through something, they really need your ear. And you know what? You're connected to the 12th house right now. You're connected to spirit, and you may guide them through their experience. This may be something that only you can guide them through, because you know you have a quality of making people want to persevere. You're an eternal optimist, and so people sometimes need your energy to show the light down their dark pathway. And maybe you working in your 12th house can help them work through their 12th house as well. So on the 23rd, we have the Sun and Mercury moving into Leo. I am very excited about this. First of all, I love the Sun's home. The sun is shining. Baby, we're shiny. We're sparkly. We're so pretty back again. Like, look at us. Like, we're just like us. Like, we're not in the dark depths of emotional states anymore. We're not repressed. We're not going through drama. We've got benefic Jupiter, like, trining the crap out of Uranus and Aries. Like, we are just shining. So we're feeling good. And guess what? We're able to communicate effectively because Mercury is in Leo. So this means you're going to take center stage, or want to. You're going to want to have a larger than life persona. You're going to have conversations with people that direct you in those areas. So this is a great time. You've been working in your 12th house. Guys, not anymore. We're in our first house now. So this is all about moving us forward and moving us to the point where we're projecting what we want to project to the world, where we want to be successful. We're starting out the beginning of our new year. Well, I guess for those that are early born Leos, they'll have this energy. For some of you, you'll still be working in your 12th house until your birthday in like August. But for the majority of you, if you have those early birthdays, you're starting to get to that point where you're feeling the energy lift. It's not quite so heavy, and you're moving forward. Now, Venus is going to move into Virgo. Now, I want to talk about Venus in Virgo with you because you're a pleasure seeker, and Venus has been in Leo. So you guys have been living large, you've been eating large, you've been drinking large. Like, you just haven't thought about too many ramifications about what you've been doing, because when Venus gets into Virgo, it's just that kind of energy where it's just a very happy little benefic energy that just, you guys are just feeding every sense you have. But when Venus goes from Leo into Virgo, different energy. Venus in Virgo is debilitated. And so when Venus is debilitated, it means that it rationalizes love. It rationalizes pleasure. It rationalizes creative endeavors. So that kind of takes the steam out of it. You know, like, you want to go forward with a gusto with all this Leo-ness, lioness stuff. But you've got Venus in there saying, okay, hey, you know that romantic partner that you're checking out over there? That person is a train wreck. Look, they just broke up with their ex like 3 months ago. Like, you're going to be a rebound. Like, it's going to be that kind of energy. Or it's going to be like, you know what? You want to start that creative endeavor and want to go off and be an artist. But guess what? You know, you still need to make a living. So let's make a rational plan, and let's make a year proposal how to get you here. It's going to be like that, and it's going to be like, wah, wah. Like, it's going to be terrible. I have my Venus in a Virgo. It is a very debilitating energy. I'm not going to lie. It's very difficult to live with because I analyze and I critically analyze every partner that I have. I critically analyze the crap out of myself. I have to have, my life is based on practicality. It's based on a realistic expectation I don't get to live in I don't live in the fantasy world too much, unless it's in a movie. I'm very, it's a very dependable energy. Anything that you come up with will be something that you can stand on, something you can root, something you can, really build a strong foundation on. So that is the benefic part of this energy. It is the highest vibration of this energy. Anyhow, that is moving in. And when the sun moves into Leo, like I said, you're just going to feel fantastic. But this sun is going to be trining Saturn. I love when energy trines. Now, here's the lovely and the beauty that I'm going to tell you. And you're going to be like, Annette, I love you. You're the best astrologer. But the sun trining Saturn is going to be in that house of regeneration, of rebirth. And the reason why I'm not talking about the negativity is it's a trine and it's trining Saturn. So this means that you're going to feel like your identity is coming back, like you found yourself again. That inner light, it's burning now. It's not just a little pilot light. It's now a really good, you turned on your furnace, it's full now, and it's starting to heat you up on the inside. It is fantastic. And you're starting to feel like you again. It seems like you've done all this 12th house work and you've really, really looked at some of the areas in your life that have seemed to be debilitated for years upon years. And so now you're feeling this, and Saturn is just gorgeous. Saturn is going to be trining Mercury and Mars. So this means you're going to have passion again. It's actually going to have something to do probably with your home and family. You're going to be extremely passionate about it. You're going to be assertive, not aggressive in this energy. So it's going to be that you'll be able to rationally anticipate your move before you make it. That's gorgeous. I love that. And then you're going to be connecting with people through conversations. You will have your mental faculties at an all-time high for you to be able to say, okay, so I want to start this YouTube channel, but I need to make an intro. I need to have, a purpose for my channel. I want to update my outward appearance. Great time for that. If you guys shop, set a standard. Okay, like I'm always going to wear blue t-shirts because I have this white backdrop or something like that. Or you could get yourself into the marketing side of everything where you're starting to look at the marketing and how you're going to be researching it. But the answers will come to you easily. It's not a struggle. It's not looking through 40 videos to try to find it or through 20 sites to try to find it. It's like you just accidentally stumble on that perfect, oh, okay, got it, next type thing. It's beautiful. And then on the 25th, Venus goes retrograde in Virgo. Now, I already mentioned it was debilitated. So when it goes retrograde, this is when Leos will get a reality check on the relationships they're currently in. Can that be difficult? Yes. I love retrograde energy. I don't like living through it, but I love it in the end because it really tweaks the areas that I truly won't tweak if they don't tweak. And so for you, this has to do with, how you value yourself. And does your partner value you that same way? Or do you value your partner enough to want to continue? Meaning, did you lower your standards to be with that partner and now you're getting a reality check and thinking, I want this lifestyle. That partner can't take me there. That's the reality of it. So maybe I shouldn't go there. You are going to look at this on a completely realistic level. You are going to analyze your relationships. You are going to analyze them and see if they're practical. If they can realistically provide you with all of the things that you need for that relationship to make you flourish, to make you shine. You got to understand your pilot light is fully burning now. And you know, you don't want just a want type partner. You want to be on fire with somebody who can handle your flame. And then on the 31st, you are going to have a full moon in Aquarius. Now, anytime that anything is in Aquarius, if you are a Leo sun, Leo rising, it's highlighting the opposite side of your chart, which always means others. So, of course, you're having Venus retrograde in here, but guess what? Venus at this point on today, on the 31st, is going to be moving back into Leo. So, it's going to be really analyzing romantic relationships. It's going to be really emphasizing the others in your life, whether or not they can take you to that next level, whether or not you really see a future down the road with them. You're going to see areas where you fall and critically analyze them and say, you know what, when I'm with that partner, I just don't feel good about myself. And you're going to look at that and think, wow, I deserve more than that, you know, I get to have everything. I want everything and I deserve it. And you're going to feel like that. So you're going to sit down and do this like mental checklist with yourself and say, okay, how practical is this relationship to get me to where I want to go? Do they meet my criteria of where I want to be in life? Are they going to be there for the long haul? Are they going to, you know, be dependable for me? And all the goals that I have, which are so enormous right now, because Spotlight is you know, that room is open possibilities. I just cleaned out my 12th house. I mean, it's a big room there. Like, I could do anything with that room, and you're going to feel like that. And I really want you to be aware of it. So, guys, long video, lots to talk about, but I just want you to know that I apologize for June. It sucked, but I was just super sick, and I pushed through it and made the best video I could in that kind of energy, but I'm in much better energy now. I just thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.